What up, guys? We are live. Good evening. Dr. Pine said it's been a little minute here for me going live, but I'm back. I've been working on a lot of good stuff for you guys, so hope you guys are ready to get informed, to get educated, and to get your futures. Thank you guys for joining me live on here. What up, guys? What up? Just in case you did not know, tomorrow I'm having a free medical school application webinar. It's 3 things you need to know to apply right. And I'm going to be covering 3 extremely common mistakes that people make when it comes to the application and how you can save yourself from that and submit your application confidently, completely, and correctly. And so this is going to be an awesome opportunity, guys. It's totally free webinar. And for you guys who attended my free webinar last year, you know what it is, giving you more information than anybody else has given you and putting you in a position to succeed. So I'm excited to be doing that for you guys tomorrow. It's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And in the meantime, I thought I'd get on here and see if anybody had any questions about the application real quick, since you guys can check out my view. I'm on call right now. This is wonderful La Jolla there in the background. You can see this is the call room. It's pretty snazzy. One of the wonderful reasons you guys should come to University of California, San Diego, because you get panoramic too. Let me show you. Panoramic views like this. Bam, 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 can't be stopped. It's the tranquility in my life, guys, to get me through a difficult call shift. I'm living that OB life right now. What up, guys? Julian, what up? Meryl, hello. Leslie, Shell, what up? Utham, Harpreet, what up? If you guys don't know, I also offer application course. So what's the difference between my application course and my boot camp? And if you come to the webinar tomorrow, you actually get a chance to get in my boot camp for a substantial discount, perhaps half off. I don't know. I can't call it. We'll have to see. But essentially, I have a course that covers everything you need to know about the application. What the boot camp is for is if you guys want additional support. And what it is essentially is group coaching for the application. So we're going to meet every single week. We're going to be reviewing real personal statements, real applications that you guys submit. So you have an opportunity to have me edit your personal statement, me edit your application, if you choose to do so in front of the group for us all to benefit. And then also the group gives you feedback. So people can talk about their experiences. You can troubleshoot. You can see how other people are telling their story and see how you can tell your story more effectively to get your application in and ready. So if you are applying this year, you want to come to the webinar tomorrow, which is totally free, and you want to get into the boot camp, so that way you can have me supporting you through the entire process. And Meryl, who's on here, was in our boot camp last year and applied this last cycle, but she submitted a wonderful application. And so she did a great job putting herself in position, and it's going to happen for her that she's going to get into medical school at some point. Yeah, so for you guys who want to be in the best position you can with your application, this is your chance. And it's awesome because tomorrow's free. And then even if you decide to get my boot camp, that's 8 weeks of meeting with me plus my course, all for just a couple $100. It's very affordable if you get to the over to the webinar. Yeah, Harpreet, definitely gonna get it when you apply. Awesome. Tanner, I'm glad you love the videos. Armando said he's doing early admission program. I do wish you luck, man. I do wish you luck. And I think this is one thing I can say for the applications we're talking about early admission is that I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that early admission programs they elevate your application and make you more likely to get in. And that can be true and that can be false. And the sense of that is that, I mean, if you're applying early decision, then what that means to a school is that you're very serious about them, that you really want to go there. And so they're going to see that desire, and that's going to be evident by your choice to do that. At the same time, if your application is not competitive, right, because you have to think about who's going to apply early decision. Only the most competitive students are going to be applying or should be applying early decision. So what happens if you're a borderline candidate or even a below average candidate is that you'll be washed out in that pool. So for you guys thinking about applying early admission, what I would say is it's only for people who are competitive. If you're not competitive, it's not going to be the difference in you getting in all of a sudden because you applied early decision. So I just want to reinforce that with people. And Armando says he's already got interviews. Yeah, loving it. Very excited for that. Any other questions you guys want to talk about real quick while we're on here before I get Paige to go something ridiculous? Yes, the interview course is lit, guys. If you guys are interviewing also this cycle, get into my interview course. And even if you're not interviewing this cycle, some of you guys may know I did a free webinar A lot of free stuff happening. I did a free webinar with SNMA 2 weeks ago where we talked about networking and using conferences to secure your medical school admission. And so, like, I mean, I think what makes me unique and people don't understand is that I'm not a YouTuber by trade, guys. Like, these videos are just scratching the surface. What I am is I'm an educator. I'm a person who takes all the steps you need to do to be successful, and I break them down in ways that you guys can execute. So if you want to learn how to study better, I break that down with a foolproof system, application, interview, all those kind of things. I have systems for things that go into excruciating, crazy detail to get you guys fully confident, fully aware of everything you need to do so you can execute, right? So no way to no way to mess that up. And Shadow said, can I find the webinar anywhere? Yeah, the webinar link is in the box. You have to register for it below, but it's in the box and you guys can get it. Arthur, what up? Yeah, so my interview course is very affordable, so you can check that out. It's on my website. It's premedproductivity.com. Yeah, so how to get letter recommendation letters if you've been out of school for a while, and that's a challenging question. Actually, I work with a lot of non-traditional students, so it tends to be non-traditional students who have the whereabouts to know that they need additional support, and there's nothing wrong with asking for additional support. And so I have a lot of non-traditional students who roll with me, and it's one of the big issues that we face when I work with them is that, we've been out of school for 10 years, 15 years. Some students I've had who have been out of school for 25 years plus, who now are second careering back into medicine. And so for them to go track down a Bio 1 professor from 50 years ago, right, it's not going to happen. And so that's actually easy to fix, but you just have to be aware of it and cognizant of it before the application season. Because all you have to do is go take a couple science classes and then start identifying those professors to write those letters of recommendation for you that cover the professor letters, right? Because that's really the issue. And then for your other letters of recommendation, it's perfectly fine to have people in your industry. So for example, if you're someone who's been, let's say you were working in construction for 30 years and now you're going over into medicine, you can have your construction foreman write one of your letters. Because who would know you better in your work ethic and what you're about and the type of person that you can depend on than that type of person who's worked with you for all these years? So don't think just because you're changing industries or you're non-traditional that none of your other experiences come into play on the application and that none of your other letter recommendation, none of the people who know you and are in positions of authority can't write you letters of recommendation, because they can. So that's what I would say for non-traditionals is for the professor letters, go ahead and go to either community college to a university and take a couple science classes and have them write you letters. And then have your other letters of recommendation be very, very strong, and have them be from whatever industry. Yeah, so, and this is the interesting thing. So was it hers, past, new stuff? Everybody got their fake little YouTube names. The question is, would you suggest the interview course for pre-PA? And it's funny you ask that, because I actually try to tell people my courses are for everybody. If you want to succeed, that's what my courses are about. And I actually had an email literally today from one of my students who's a pre-PA student who's now going to be a PA student. And he was emailing me to say thank you, to let me know that he got into the PA school of his choice. And he actually did everything with me. So he's in my study course, he's in my application course, and then he also did my interview course with me, but he was doing PA program. And so I would encourage you guys, whatever your field is, if you guys want to be successful and there's something that applies, it's going to apply. So if you guys, in every field, you got to know how to study well. In every school, you got to know how to apply and sell yourself. And in every school program, you got to know how to interview and, again, cinch that acceptance. So these are the opportunities. If you guys are in any field and you're going to be applying, get into this boot camp, because you will get help. You will get support, because the fundamentals I teach, guys, are universal principles to success. Does that make sense to everybody? Arthur says, what's more important, a paid medical scribe position or research? What's more important for a broke pre-med? For a broke pre-med, the most important thing is keeping that belly full, right? So you got to do whatever you can do to afford your lifestyle. And for me, I was an undergrad who didn't have a whole lot of money. So for me, I didn't volunteer because I couldn't afford to volunteer. And no medical schools held that against me, because I had significant achievements in everything I did, and my heart and my humanity showed out, and then I was still always giving of myself to other people. So I hope that answers your question. So there's no harm in taking a paid position as long as you can evidence that you give of yourself to others for the benefit of others. If that makes sense, like this video right now, y'all. Like this video. We're at 10 minutes. Like this video right now. Yeah, Melena's absolutely correct. You apply to many things. Applying with a late MCAT or apply next cycle. And actually, that's one of the things we're going to be talking about on the webinar tomorrow. If you guys want to know, what we're talking about tomorrow on the webinar. So I don't like to recycle old stuff, so I always do new, fresh stuff. So this webinar will be new content. But today tomorrow we're going to be talking about understanding when you should apply. And so as part of that, we're going to be talking about when in the cycle and also when in your life and kind of answering those tough questions about your application. The second thing we're going to be talking about is how people, and it's 3 common mistakes is what the application webinar is about, but it's not understanding when to apply is the first mistake people make, and then not understanding the power and the impact of the application and giving the application its just due. So we're gonna walk through some key steps you can take to make sure you're doing the right thing and systematizing your process for creating your application to make sure your application is good to go and be submitted. And then the third thing we're going to talk about is not understanding what will actually make your application stand out. And I promise you, it's not what you guys think makes applications stand out. So I'm going to cover that tomorrow and really open you guys up totally free. So sign up. The registration box is below. Awesome, Meryl. Congratulations on your national award. And that makes sense. Outstanding resilience and preparedness because we bowlers and use Ebola. So awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. It's HR spaz and stuff. I'm sorry. I have difficult, it's like one of those difficult license plates, right? People have those complicated license plates. I'm like, what is that? What does that say? I'm sorry, I'm trying to read comments. I read slowly, so I'm trying to get to these right here. Let's see. Yeah, so that's a tough situation. So JRaj073 asks, what do you think of students who did a postbac at a competitive UC school and managed a 4.0, but the undergrad GPA is a 2.6? Honestly, I would say that you're going to have a difficult time getting in at most places. I think that some places might give you the nod, and this is where postbacs get tricky, is that some schools will weigh postbac students heavier or put them like differently, and they'll look at that postbac GPA as a separate thing. But not all schools do that, and early on in some of these admissions process, they're just weeding on the raw numbers. So if you take your 4.0 postbac GPA over 1 year compared to 4 years of undergrad, that postbac GPA gets kind of washed out. So it really depends on the school. So what I would say is if you got into a postbac program and a reputable one, right, so a competitive one like a UC, they must have saw something in you to say, you know what, after this program, this student should be prepared to get into medical school. So, I mean, I haven't seen the rest of your application, all kinds of things, and admissions and applications are very complicated, which is why it's really important to know all the nuances about that. But so it's hard to say, but congratulations on your 4.0 and your postbac. Everybody clap it up right now. Everyone give, well, like, I don't know if you could put it in a box or something, right, like, or congratulations to JRA073 for getting a 4.0 in a postbac, which is really hard to do. People don't recognize. People think, oh, you know what, I've been a slouch my whole life, or, oh, you know, I've had life circumstances that prevented me from doing well in undergrad, and I'm just going to go to my postbac and ball out. Like, it doesn't happen that way. So you guys have to appreciate the fact that postbacs are difficult, and for someone to go in and succeed in a big way and get perfection 4.0, congratulations to you. Big tip of the hat. Julian, what up? Shadow Warrior. How would you display that you gave yourself to others? That's a really complicated question also. It's covered in the boot camp, but essentially what you don't want to be is a box checker. And what separates a box checker from someone who's being true to themselves is the way they went about their activities and also the way they describe their activities, which is why it's so important that you understand how to execute the application, because there's nuance to it and the way you say things, right? Word choice, right? Like you say, hey, you versus hey, you, right? Two same words, but the way they're said makes them different. And with the application, it's the same way. It's how you go ahead and sell and present yourself and market yourself to medical schools. Because it's a beauty contest. Are you the most beautiful belle of the ball? Right? And if you're not the most beautiful belle of the ball, then you got to have that right dress, right? That puts you, you know what I mean? Not everybody can wear, you know, a strapless dress. Not everybody can wear, you know what I mean? Like, what's your best feature? You got to feature it and put it out there in the right way for schools to get at you. Kasim, I'm blessed to know you, man. Kasim's my guy. How do you find out what each medical school wants? I've heard to read mission statements, but is there an underlying factor for top medical schools? So I always say don't believe what you hear and read on the internet. So for me, I don't think it's enough to read mission statements. I don't think it's enough to go to MSAR. I think you should actually go directly to the school, either in person or a phone call or something, and ask them what they value. Ask them what their school's all about. Ask them, you know, I mean, what you can do to be competitive for their school. I'm sorry, as the sun sets, all my light is gone, so I had to turn the light on real quick. But what I would say is talk to schools directly. Like, why get secondhand information? Why get their marketing packet when you can go straight to the source and get real information from people? Oh, I know. Steven just said Luke Walton is gone. I don't know if that's a sweating or a tear or whatever, but I'm not sad. Luke Walton did a piss poor job coaching my Lakers. How do you run out of bounds plays for JaVale McGee? I mean, I'm not, you know, an NBA level basketball coach, but I know JaVale McGee is not the most refined offensive player on the planet. So why are we running out of bounds plays when we got Kuzma and scorers? Why are we running out of bounds plays for JaVale McGee? So I'm not sad to see Luke Walton go. What I am sad about is to see Magic go. That's a travesty, y'all. My Magic just, and I'm disappointed in Magic too, because it's like he just quit on us. Like, how do you not tell your boss you're quitting? How do you just, like, I'm hurt that he personally didn't write me a letter and say, "Dear Andre, I know you have been a lifelong diehard Laker fan, and I am letting you down. And we have done a poor job running this team, and I'm considering stepping out of the fire because it's too hot for me, and I want to go chill and live my Magic life. I just want to give you a warning shot before I say it publicly to give you time to, you know, cope and deal." He didn't do that for me, so I'm upset about that, but the rest of this, I'm not upset about. And I think also Magic Johnson's press conference, if you guys want to see some what bad interviewing looks like, or what the translation, right? Because interviewing and application are very similar. It's right. It's telling yourself whether it's on paper or in person. If you want to watch a bad sales job, I want you to watch Magic Johnson's exit press conference. It's a terrible scattershot job of expressing himself and making himself look good and be in a flattering light. Because I honestly hated that press conference, and I lost some respect for Magic, a man who I respect a tremendous amount before this, a man who I've met before. We used to have the same barber in LA. And so I actually met Magic, and I've just lost a lot of respect off that news conference. Pretty weak sauce, I thought. Yeah, I'll do a video on CRNA sometime soon here. All right, we'll do one more, and I'm going to get out of here, guys. I got to do some work. Utham, someone I know said medical school admissions equate GPAs from different colleges. A 3.0 from Harvard is better than a 3.0 from elsewhere. That doesn't sound true. And actually that is true, right? So if you go to a more competitive school, they're going to weight your GPA heavier, right? But again, all of that is you can overcome that by just attaining high grades. So for example, if you go to Bob's College of School and you get a 4.0, and someone went to Harvard and got a 4.0, do you think any school's gonna be like, you know what? I don't respect that Bob's College 4.0, we're not getting in. But if you're friends, you get a 3.0 at Bob's College or whatever, then it's questionable. But excellence is excellence is excellence is everywhere. So I actually have a video on that, and like small schools versus big schools and prestige versus not prestige. So search my YouTube channel and find that one. But in a nutshell, success is success. Get good grades, get good extracurriculars, dominate college, and then nobody else can stop you, no matter where you went. All right, now, on that note, we're at 20 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here, I'm on call. If this was helpful to you guys, like the video right now. And what up, everybody hopping on here. I will hope to see all you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. The webinar, someone asked how long it's gonna be. It's from 11 a.m. to noon, and then I'll hang out for a little bit and answer any questions you guys have about the application to help you guys out. And if you can't make it tomorrow, still sign up because I send out the replay after the webinars. Other announcements really quickly. I'm in Philadelphia next week. I'll be at the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, talking to the Future Women in Health's club. It's an open event to the entire public. When I come to campus, it's not a club meeting, y'all. It's an event. So I'm coming to campus. We're going to have an event at UPenn next Friday. It starts at noon, so come on out and have a good time and learn about how to be a confident, successful pre-med. That's what we're talking about. Sorry, confident and successful pre-health student. I still have to make the talk. I'll make it early this week. But successful and confident pre-health students, I'll be giving lots of strategies, lots of great stuff to help you guys be great at that. So that'll be 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time next Friday. And then the following day on Saturday, I'll also be in Philadelphia at the SNMA AMEC conference, giving a workshop there, and then also being part of a panel and hanging out there. So I'll see you guys next Saturday. And then we'll continue that stuff with the following. I got a couple events. I'll save that. We got a couple events happening the next week. Does that make sense to everybody? So, yeah, so lots of good stuff coming at you guys. So everyone, have a wonderful day. Sign up for the webinar. It is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Everyone, later.